Alright, hello fun and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the SteamPunk Revolver mod, which is being made by user MattySP89. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is an absolutely gorgeous new steampunk-inspired break-action revolver for you to play around with, and this thing is magnificent, and I very much enjoyed my time with it, despite the fact that I gotta admit, I don't actually think this fits in the Fallout world. Now, you guys know me. I tend to prefer weapons that either are historically based or feel like they fit in the grungy alt-future post-apocalypse that Fallout is. This gun is far too dang pretty for this crunchy world. I love it, but yeah, I think it's a little bit off, but it is beautiful. It is also steampunk, and I'm a sucker for steampunk stuff, so I had to look at this thing. So let's jump on over here and have a look at what we do get with the SteamPunk Revolver, which in its most basic form will deal 30 damage with a 38 round with a firing rate of 66, range of 59, accuracy of 51, and a weight of 2.3. And oh my, look at this thing. It is beautiful. This was honestly the main reason I wanted to look at it. Besides, again, I like steampunk stuff, so that was also a nice little factor. But just look at all of the detail. I genuinely think this may be one of the most detailed weapons I've seen on the Nexus. You've got all this just great engraving all over the weapon, the intricate clockwork mechanism for the trigger and hammer assembly there. It is absolutely beautiful. So much work must have gone into this thing, and I very much appreciate that. It is just a gorgeous looking gun that, you know what, that alone makes this thing worth a download in my mind. Now, as for the usability of this weapon, it's not the most damaging thing in the world, using a pretty common and easy to get ammo with the 38, and doesn't sadly have a whole lot of modification. It does have some, and enough to make this thing more usable and viable of a weapon into the mid and perhaps even into the late game, especially depending on your perks. But yes, we do only have 3 different mod categories here, only 2 of which showing in the Pit-Boy, but we do have a 3rd sight category. But overall, though, it is just an aesthetically pleasing weapon that I think is, you know, makes that well worth it enough. Now, as for how you get your hands on one of these beautiful guns, it's pretty darn simple. In fact, you could probably end up with one of these before you ever leave Sanctuary at the beginning of the game, as all it takes is heading over to any chemistry station in the world, heading down to the SteamPunk Revolver category, and building a SteamPunk Revolver for just a mere 5 copper, 7 screws, 4 steel, and 10 wood. There are no perk requirements whatsoever, so yeah, you could probably scrap enough in Sanctuary to get these things pretty darn easily and start blasting away your enemies in the Commonwealth with a gorgeous new weapon. Very nice. So let's go take a look at the modifications for this thing, limited as they may be, and start up in the receiver category, where we've got the pretty typical stuff like standard, hardened, powerful, on up to advanced, all using the 38, but we also do have the ability to rechamber it in either 45 or 44 ammo, with the 44 caliber doing the highest amount of damage at 75. Now remember, like with the 38 stuff on the standard, that is without perks here in this video, so depending on the perks you use, you may be able to get a little bit more damage out of that number, which is always nice. But the base damage there you can get this to is 75. Now, the next category we have here is the barrel categories, with the standard barrel with no steam piping, or we can go with a barrel with half steam pipe assembly, or a full steam pipe assembly. Steamy. I like that description there. It's simple, short, sweet, and to the point. And that will also give you some additional range and accuracy, which is always nice. And also, it just looks good. I've got guns made over there with the half and a full steam assembly. It will show off in a second. But let's get to the final category first. And one of my 2 small disappointments with this gun, and that is the scope category. You guys know me. I like a lot of scopes. We only got 2. One of them is the just standard iron sights, which, you know, are there, and a short scope. Now, this scope is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, it's got a steam gauge on there and everything, but hopefully, I don't know if this will happen, but hopefully perhaps the mod maker will add some more things in here later, like, who knows, maybe a steampunk-esque reflex sight or something could fit in quite nicely, but for now, it's just the two options. Now, let's go do some shooting, and that's where not only will you hear a wonderful sound, one of my favorite features of the gun, but also run into my other issue that I have. But let's get to the shooting first, and I'll shut up for a second so you guys can hear the steam gun firing. And I love that. You get a good thud with the initial shot and then a steam hiss after you fire, which is just neat. I like that. For a steam gun, you know, that makes sense. And it is, well, rather, it does pack quite a wallop, which does mean you get a lot of kick on this thing, so it's not exactly the easiest to stay on target, especially with the fire rate, because, oh boy, oh yeah, you're looking up at the sky real quick if you're firing this thing very fast. But you know what, still pretty good, and I do, as I said, love the sound on that thing. Now, as for that second issue I mentioned, that's the iron sights. Notice we're hip firing right there. If I go to aim in, yeah, we're pointing up at the open sign back there. And if I fire, yep, aiming at the open sign, we hit the target. If I actually aim at the target with this, we shoot way under. So yes, hopefully the mod maker will fix that. It's a minor issue considering, I mean, most of the time I'm either hip firing, panicking, or, you know, using VATs with at least iron sight guns. But yeah, hopefully the mod maker does fix that soon. Hopefully it's a easy fix. But yeah, that iron sight there is a little awkward. Now let's go grab the other guns I made here real quick, and boom. Now, neither of them are too different considering, well, they just have the different ammo with different damages, but on this particular gun, I actually just remembered I need to take the scope off of that one, because the full steam gauge assembly that we have on here, the part that is here is part of that full steam gauge assembly, but that also does come onto the gun when you add a scope, as you can see right here. So the scope and the full gauge assembly actually sort of overlap in their modeling there. So let me just take that off real quick, and so we can show off the difference between the two. So this is the half steam gauge assembly barrel, where we've got nothing on this side, but on this side we've got, well, a little steam gauge. It looks like a weird little pot still, which is kind of amusing to me. And yeah, just a cool little thing. And the full steam gauge assembly is both having that on that side as well as this assembly on this side. But of course, as mentioned, if you add the short scope, that too adds the other half of the full steam pipe assembly, which is interesting. But you know what? Still fun doing that 75 damage with the 44 round, which is pretty darn sweet on that, and boom, fire. Nice scope there, too. I do love the look of this thing. It is pretty great. Kind of large with that steam gauge on the side, but you know what? It works. So let's try out this thing against an enemy, and what the heck? Let's go for Deathclaw. Run, 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 run. Hi, Deathclaw. Ooh, boy, yeah, my character's not good at anything, at, you know, basic in the game, but there we go. Let's take 2 shots. I'll be darned, I actually hit him. There we go. There we go. Oh, this is gonna take a while with this guy. Oh no. Even with the 75, maybe we should have done bandits. Maybe that would have been a good plan. Oh boy. Alright, alright. Oh god, he's getting close. Back up to the stage. Alright, there we go, there we go. Getting some more. Whoa, he almost made it up. That's bad for me in my survival. Alright, alright. We're getting some alright shots on him now. There we go, there we go. Alright. Back down, so he comes back at us. And boom, boom, boom. Ooh, back upstairs. There we go. I think we might be able to get him in this last, couple of bullets. If I'd hit him. All right, there we go. And he's down. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now that is the SteamPunk Revolver. It is a gorgeous gun that I absolutely love the whole steampunk aesthetic for. It is highly detailed, just gorgeous, and has that wonderful fun steampunk aesthetic and sound to it with the fun hiss. And it's just overall a neat weapon. So if you'd like to check this thing out for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for this one today. Hopefully you all have enjoyed and you come back for the next. But until that time, thank you for watching. And as always, have a good one. Oh boy, I'm going to die. Later, folks.